right, let's talk about one of the most interesting diplomatic puzzles playing out right now. It's all centered around the APEC 2025 Summit in South Korea. Now, this is a huge global event, but behind all the handshakes and the policy talks, there's this little mystery that has diplomats and security experts completely captivated.
And this is really the heart of it. Think about this for a second. South Korea has more than 12,000 rooms ready for this summit. It's a massive undertaking. So why on earth is the entire world obsessing over the location of just one of them? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack.
Okay, so first, let's set the scene. The host city is Gyeongju. You've got this ancient capital, 1,000 years of history, and it's about to collide with modern global diplomacy. And the scale of the preparations, it's just wild.
And when I say wild, I mean it. Gyeongju is gearing up to host almost 7,700 people every single day of the summit. That's leaders, all their staff, the press, security teams, the whole shebang.
So where do you put all those people? Well, they've managed to secure, get this, 12,812 guest rooms, all within just 10 kilometers of where everything's happening. So yeah, to say Gyeongju is ready is a bit of an understatement.
And the guest list is just as impressive. We're not just talking about the 21 APEC leaders. You've got a who's who of the tech and business world. Think Jensen Huang, Elon Musk, Sundar Pichai. They're pulling out all the stops, even renting luxury cruise ships as floating hotels for VIPs. No joke.
You can just feel the political gravity here, right? Of course, you've got the host, South Korean President Lee Jae-myung. You've got major players like Xi Jinping from China, and some new faces like Claudia Sheinbaum from Mexico. But let's be real, the one everyone's watching is US President Donald Trump. This is his first APEC appearance of his second term, and that just cranks up the pressure on every single detail. And his attendance brings us right back to that central puzzle. With everything else meticulously planned out, the one thing nobody knows is, where is the President of the United States going to stay? And believe me, this isn't just about finding a nice hotel.
Because we are not talking about your average penthouse suite here. We're talking about the PRS, the Presidential Suite. And it's less of a room and more of a mobile fortress. It's got bulletproof glass, the latest anti-bugging tech, its own dedicated office spaces. It is, for all practical purposes, a portable White House.
So, get this. The organizers have 25 of these ultra-secure suites ready to go for the world leaders. 25! And yet, the one for the US president, it's a complete secret. It's that one crucial piece of the puzzle that's still off the board.
All right, so let's play detective for a minute. What are the possibilities? We've got a few frontrunners, and they range from five-star hotels to some pretty fascinating wildcards.
It really seems to boil down to three main options. First, there's the Hilton Gyeongju. It's super close to everything, and word on the street is that it's the top pick for the US team. Then, you've got the Fortress at Sea option, an actual aircraft carrier. I mean, you can't get much more secure than that. And finally, the Ananti Resort, a luxury choice that might just appeal to President Trump's personal taste.
Now, if we just focus on the hotel options for a second, the Hilton seems to have the edge over the other big five-star contender, the Le Gahan Select. Why? It really just comes down to one thing: location, location, location. Being closer to the main conference hall is a huge deal for the security teams, and that's always going to be priority number one.
But here's the thing, there's no playbook for this. History shows us it's kinda all over the map. President Carter stayed at a US military base in Korea. President Bush, one time he stayed on an aircraft carrier in Italy. Another time he stayed at the hotel right next door to the APEC venue in Busan. So this precedent for unpredictability is exactly what makes this whole thing so intriguing. So you might be thinking, okay, who really cares where he sleeps? But this is the real heart of the matter. This decision is so much more than just about a comfortable bed. It's packed with hidden messages, with layers and layers of diplomatic meaning.
See, whatever they choose, it sends 4 different signals all at once. First, it's a security message. It signals how high they think the threat level is. Second, it's about logistics, reflecting the huge size and needs of the American team. Third, and this one is key, it's a diplomatic signal. It shows how much trust the US is placing in the host nation. And finally, it's about prestige. It's a power move, a chance to project strength on the world stage.
And that really leaves us with this one powerful thought. In the high-stakes theater of global diplomacy, where every single gesture is analyzed to death, the choice of where a president sleeps can send a message that's louder than any speech. It's a silent but very potent first move in this complex game.
And you can bet the entire world is watching to see which message gets sent.
Come November 2025, some of the most powerful leaders on the planet are gathering in South Korea. We're talking about a meeting that could shape everything from the future of AI to what you pay at the checkout. So, what is this APEC Summit, and why should you care? We're going to break it all down.
Okay, so to really get why this meeting is such a big deal, you have to look at the numbers. And wow, they are staggering. APEC isn't just some small club. We're talking about 21 economies that pull in over 60% of the entire world's GDP. They're responsible for almost half of all global trade, and they're home to more than a third of everyone on Earth. So yeah, when these leaders get in a room together, the whole world listens. All right, so what exactly is APEC? Well, the name stands for Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation. It was set up way back in 1989 with a really powerful, simple idea, that the economies on either side of the Pacific are all in this together. The main goal? To make life better for everyone in the region by boosting free trade, strengthening those economic connections, and really pushing for growth that lasts.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll cover the what of the 2025 summit. Then we'll look at the incredible host city, Gyeongju. After that, we'll dive into the agenda, what they're actually talking about. We'll even look at a real-world example of APEC in action and finish up with why the summit, right now, is so incredibly important.
All right, Section 1, APEC 2025, what's the summit? We're setting the stage for what's going to be a really pivotal global meeting.
So, here are the key facts you need to know. South Korea is playing host, which is a big deal because it's their second time, the first being way back in 2005, so a full 20 years later. The main event is happening right around Halloween, October 31st to November 1st, 2025. And the host city? It's Gyeongju. Now stick with me because the choice of Gyeongju is super intentional, and we're about to see why.
Okay, let's dive into that. Section 2, Gyeongju, a historic host city. This is really where ancient history is going to meet future-focused diplomacy. It's not just a backdrop, it's part of the story.
And you don't have to take my word for it. Don Bennett, who's New Zealand's ambassador to South Korea, really nailed it when he said this. He pointed out that having these critical discussions in a place with such deep historical and cultural roots, well, that's going to be inspiring for everyone there. And this is where it gets really cool. You've got this incredible contrast. On one hand, you have Gyeongju, the ancient capital. I mean, this place was the heart of the Silla Kingdom for almost a millennium. And on the other hand, you have this super modern summit, where the hot topics are going to be things like AI governance, digital innovation, and clean energy. It's literally the past meeting the future. And believe me, Gyeongju is pulling out all the stops to get ready for the world stage. The main conference is happening at the Gyeongju Wabaek Convention Center. The big leaders banquet? That's going to be at the Gyeongju National Museum. How amazing is that? Construction on all the key facilities is already over 85% complete, and they've even prepared 35 presidential suites for all the leaders and top global CEOs